seriously busy today. So, okay, we're meeting with the seasonal soul. We're going to discuss a little bit of what winter was, what winter is, and what winter continues to be. Because some of us are not out. Some of us have embraced spring, which is great. That's great energy to be embracing, but it's also, we're not done. And as the book says in this beginning, don't be surprised at spring's ability to throw you back to winter. Like everybody here in the Northeast was like, "Oh, it's spring, it's spring, it's spring. Congratulations, here's a snowstorm." Uh, like everybody had a snowstorm yesterday. We had rain, luckily where we were. But everybody else was under extreme snow. Like they were under like 14 to 15 inches. Like I was astonished at how much. So what did you guys get out of winter? Let's just discuss that to start with, because today we're kind of putting the winter chapter to bed. You don't have, this is what I want you to understand in this book study. You don't have to put this book to bed at any point. You can go back and visit these sections and work way through them and go through the prompts again if you're feeling that. And I think certain times of spring will lead you back to winter because you got to revisit what the lessons gained were. Those of you that are taking Persephone, we're talking about how you have this queen-like energy and you're moving forward into a new form of yourself. So it's kind of like you're coming out of this crone, this craggly crone who doesn't shave her legs and probably doesn't bathe every day. And, she skips the things that aren't important because it's winter and who the fuck's going to see you? Like, what do you care? Like, I can go 3 days without getting a shower if I don't got to teach you guys, right? Nobody needs to know. So, but you can't do those things come spring because everybody's going to be looking for you and everybody's going to be checking on you and everybody's going to want to have a piece of your time in spring because we want to be fertile and we want to move forward. Now, fertile, don't take that literally. We don't need 6,000 babies here in the LHC. But you want to move into this new area, okay? So, what did you gain in winter to move forward? What are you still working on for winter? I see a lot of women are and hi, if you're not here, I'm really proud of you for reading a book. If you're not here, thank you for being here. Um, what are you gaining from this season? Um, so does anybody want to volunteer to go first? Go ahead, Jeanette. You got the floor.
Even though I am so far behind with it, I I feel like I'm not ready to come out of winter yet. And with all this busyness I have getting ready for the art tour, I'm so behind on so many things. And every time I hit this book, it's something that I needed to reflect on and hear. So it's helped me a lot with that. Um, and just when you think that you got your shadow work under control, something triggers you and bites you in the butt again that you thought you were over. And I have learned, I think the biggest thing I've gotten out of this is the grace that she gives. She talks about be kind to yourself, and I need that because I'm too hard on myself a lot of times. I'm beating myself up all the time.
I see the expectations we have of each other, and I see the expectations that people have in groups. Like, and not even just this group, like in groups in general, just like family settings and that kind of situation. And right now, I'm in that phase of life where I'm applying to places to teach my book during the end of summer. And I'm seeing the expectations that people have. Well, what are you willing to bring with you? Are you going to have PDFs? Are you going to have books to sell? Or what do you, and when you look at that kind of stuff in your own lives, just look at the situations you're in. People cannot take from you more than you're willing to give. And this is the lesson, I think, with the grace. I mean, Jeanette really hit it on the head. Women do not give themselves grace at all. We are to hold it up no matter what is going on, what is breaking within us. What, like, you can be on like a 1/4 inch 2x4 that's rotten, just rotten in the center. And you've got to hold it all together because if you don't, you have failed. And it It's hurtful, number one, to us as women. Number two, it's hurtful to us as people, just as human beings. Like, let's even take our gender out of it. And I think it really leads to the mental health situation of our country. TikTok is a great example of the mental health of our country. These are people that feel they have no support in their lives than to go tell complete strangers what is wrong in their life. They're just blatantly screaming it from the edge of the Grand Canyon. I'm falling apart. Who the fuck cares? This book in the winter section, she so hits that. Like, why are you so hard on yourself when it's just you in isolation? Like, nobody else is there. Nobody else is judging you. And this is going to sound really shitty what I'm about to say. And lots of people are going to be like, what a fucking asshole. But I'm going to say it. Nobody's fucking opinion matters of you but yours. I'm sorry. It's just not that fucking compelling. It's not. It's not that fucking compelling what people think of you or feel about you. I know that leads to, oh, well, you don't care if you're letting people down. If you can't hold yourself together, your presence is barely there. Fuck perfection if you can't even be present. And so much of the witch community is perfection and achievements and manifesting and this and this and this, and people don't accept the ugly. And there's a lot of ugly in the witch world. I don't care what anybody says, there's a lot of fucking ugly. I put up a post last week. You guys all read it about the competition, about set a bitch next to me that's better. I struggled with that for a very long fucking time. I saw people doing workshops. I saw my shit showing up over in there. Not exactly word for word, but paraphrased and changed and moved along. And it was a real struggle for me. Yeah, I did a lot of shadow work on it. I sat with it. I was still mad. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was still mad. I was still fucking very angry. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I still get very angry. But the moral of the story is if I'm not putting something of valor out there, they wouldn't be copying it. I got to be channeling something of worth for people to be copying it. I got to be creating something of worth for people to be doing it. So take your laurels as they come, take your palms and lay them on the ground and make way for a higher power than you to walk through. What if we take spring and not look at it as spring? What if we take it as a mythical portal to the next step of who we are? You know, we all like fairy tales and they're so important. And that spring aspect of the maiden growing and learning and gathering and acquiring, she's not quite ready to go out into everything, but she's getting herself ready. What if you just take like an easement into your spring? And then we don't say, oh, I'm behind, because I'll be really fucking honest with you. Like yesterday, for like 35 minutes, I was looking for this fucking book. I'm not fucking lying to you. And I was on the phone with someone and she could absolutely tell you it's the fucking truth. I was looking for this fucking book. I could not find the fucking book because a goddess came up and said, this is not important to you right now. This is fucking important to you now. And this is what you got to do. And you will know divine intervention will throw you back to the start if it needs to. I don't know about you guys, but I'm experiencing that where I came in, it's probably where I should have been all along. And I didn't fucking pay attention because I was looking for the quick fit. I was looking for the next thing. The symbol that I was wearing hooked me to a witch that knew more. And she got me to the next step. How many people have you come in contact with in your education that you meet them the first time and you're like, oh my God, this is it. And then you sit in their class and you're like, this is not it. This is not the place for me. Excuse me, I'm lost. I need to leave now. And we all have those moments.
Yeah.
And each of our experiences, I hate to say it, really turn us to learn what we need to learn there and move on. Somebody said something to me the other day and she's like, aren't you sad to see so many people leave? I said, no, I'm happy because they got what they needed and they're moving on. They're going where they need to go. They're becoming who they need to be. They're moving in their direction. And I fucking love it because what resonates will resonate and what doesn't will go. That is the beauty of the moon, of the seasons, of the wheel, of deity involvement, of goddess involvement, of everything we do is a process. And uh, I really sat with this morning. I'm like, I'm just not done with winter, and I don't know how I moved to spring. And I immediately thought, I'm really way behind, because I couldn't find the book yesterday. Um, which tells you I haven't seen it in like a week. Um, but a week for me, and I don't know if you guys are the same way, when something starts talking, a week for you can feel like a lifetime.
Absolutely.
It can feel like you've been visiting shit for months and you're just caught in a time loop looking at that stuff. When I stepped into Persephone this time, it was like a totally different relationship with Persephone. Seeing her in a totally different light. And it's because I'm older than the last time I worked with her. And I'm fucking more impacted by life since the last time I talked to her. So when you're looking through this book, don't ever criticize yourself from going back. That's my humble opinion of this. I watched this author the other day speak on a live. She was talking about her cards. It wasn't even this book. And she says, I'm so flattered to see other people building an entire communities around this concept. I think because really for me, it was just a way to get out what I was thinking. And she said that in French and it sounded so much more better. But, that's the broken American. But she was speaking in French and she does all her lectures in French. So there's no subtitles with her. You have to be able to like piece it out. And I find that as we move into spring, like what are we going to attack? These essential practices for winter, the forgiveness and the meditation and the cycles within cycles. Like, where are you guys at with that? Are you still sitting in those cycles? Are you still holding those truths? Are you still working in them? Only you can decide when you're ready to move on to spring. As a group, we can go, okay, we're going to start spring, you know? But tonight into tomorrow morning around 3 a.m. If you're working, I put prompts up on the page today because I felt so intense that this moon needed prompts. Like, I felt this one needed some prompts. And it didn't need a fucking download. I didn't need to fuck with the website. I just need to throw some prompts out, And thank God I learned how to use Adobe and do PDFs because that just makes it so much fucking easier. It's like, you know, but this is a fullness in the moon and then an absence where it is eclipse. It's almost a gift. It's almost a dark moon within a full moon.
Right.
It's like a super release. If you were going to let go of winter, this would be the time to do it. And I know everybody's like, I'm not ready. There's fucking snow on the ground, Sissy. I don't know what to tell you. There's going to be snow in a part of your life at every fucking time. Something has to be undercover for you to survive because we all can't go around with all our emotions sitting out for everybody to see and feel.
Going off of what you're saying right now, also, I think that, how Jeanette said that we need to give ourselves grace. We also need to understand that everything we're learning is so high volume spiritual. And because of the fact that according to the real world, it's just a calendar flip, it's spring now because it's this. But many of us, if you're still working on some of these, I'm still deconstructing. I'm still sitting in my fear and telling myself, okay, now I'm going to work through this. So for us, just because it's a calendar day doesn't really matter because we are inundated with this. And it's kind of scary to have to leave that behind and go forward. So I told myself when I felt like I was starting to get behind, I basically said, but you know what? You're processing so much stuff. It doesn't matter if you're behind. because you need to address this and deal with it and revisit it as you grow. So then that way, when we're done, then I can go back and rework things. But, we need to make sure we're learning the lesson to go to the next level. And I think that's really important, that we give ourselves grace in that it's not that we're behind, it's we're still processing some deep shit. And it's fucking with us on top of this lunar eclipse. I follow astrology a lot more, and one of the planets that barely moves is like moving tonight. I don't know which one. There's a huge push pull in the spiritual community of many people saying, hold on, hold on. So the fact that we're not going, oh, it's spring, let's go. We're actually doing what almost everybody else out there is saying is, hold on, maybe we might get that bounce back. I'm hoping to get mine after this energy phase. But, we've worked hard, and don't ever, wouldn't you agree that we all have worked hard and we don't need to put ourselves down because we're behind? We're working and we're getting through it. And I think that's the huge part of it.
I have this theory, and it's from working with deities. You're only behind when they tie you to the cart and start dragging your ass. And they will
So, see, I
fucking
think
let you.
that's where I am right now, because y'all know what's going on with us.
Oh,
We lost our apartment
Shannon.
and now our car. And I think we were going to sit in winter and renew our lease for a year. And it's time for my boys to go on their own. They're 23 and 27. And I think Divine Universe catapulted us into the fucking next 3 seasons. And like, no, it's time to go. You're too stagnant right now. And so I have to laugh through everything that I'm going through, or else I will break down. And I know you know how that feels sometimes. So yeah, I love winter just because you get to like hole up and, be warm and cozy and all the, warmth and everything. But I love spring and summer because of all the colors and, do your nails, and you get to go out and you get to wear less clothes and less laundry. And all that fun stuff. But the universe has a way of like kicking your ass into the next, whenever you're just like, because we were going to sign the other lease, and like they were like, no, you're not. You're doing this. And I think it's time like to move forward and to move on. And it's like I don't know, I have a hard time with like, okay, we're gonna do this, and I'm all Virgo, so I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. Everything has OCD, and it has to be perfect and lined up. And I've had all of my cards keep saying, let go of the control, let go of the control, let go of the control. And letting go of that, the seasons tell us like, you really have no choice, like especially in Texas. Winter one day, summer the next day. You have no control of that. And when you follow that and you follow the seasons, and that's been really, really hard, like just to realize like, yeah, it's going to move however it's going to move, and you can't do anything about that. So it's really, really been, I wasn't even supposed to be here today with you guys. I just dropped my son off at work and looked at notifications. I'm like, I'm supposed to be here today. This is what I'm supposed to be doing today. So I think that's our lesson. And going along with Jeanette also is giving yourself grace and realizing like, you can't take care of everything, and you can't have it all on you. And with everything you're going through, you can't have it all on you as well. So you have to give up some of that and like, okay, I'm letting y'all do this. You'll show me what you got. So yeah, I just thought I would add that.
I think the most terrifying section of it is, and I'm going to say this because, I'm going to say it. I say shit people don't like, so here we go. Here's another fucking shit sissy shit. Probably shouldn't say, but she's going to. Okay, here comes the filter. Fucking people are not asked to shoulder a lot when they can't fucking handle a lot. And it doesn't go back to the God only gives things to. It's not that fucking thing. I have the privilege of knowing Ashley on a personal level as a mother. And I have the privilege of knowing Ella as a granddaughter and Kai as a grandson and Aaliyah. And I see Caroline, and I see all your struggles as mothers. And I was lucky enough to meet Vicky, who had been through a really hard childhood with her child, who, if you guys don't know, Vicky's daughter was very sick as a child. She had cancer. And I don't say that lightly the way I said it, is just so I don't fall apart. Okay. So I'm just going to keep this together. Okay. I'm going to fucking hold myself together for 5 minutes. You are not given things that you can't handle. And I was having a conversation with Casey today, and Casey said something to me, and she goes, here comes Chiron. I said, Chiron can lick my dick. And she goes, fair enough. Because Casey's always on me like, here comes Chiron, you're going to get healed. And I said to Casey, why does it always feel like the Band-Aid's pulling off with all the scab that I've built, all the healing I've built, all the things that I had to have myself comfortable? Why does it have to be that fucking traumatic event that just puts me into a fucking spiral that I can't get back to where I was? I can't retain all that healing that I did. And she goes, honey, I'm going to tell you why. And I said, why do you think? She goes, because goddesses live within us and they demand to be tested. She said, they come here to dwell within us when we work with them. And it's so they can experience life and they can experience death and they can experience experiences. And it brings me back to the Dolsky poem where she tells about the mother, the ire of the mother, and how the mother ran till she died for the amusement of a king. But she did it holding her children to prove everybody fucking wrong. There are aspects of your character, Shannon, that are coming through right now that you didn't know you had. There are aspects of all of our character, and people mistake it as, oh, she doesn't want any fucking help. She's closing everybody off. It's because if one person touches her, she's going to fragile into 1,000 pieces. She has everything under control. Her energy is around her. She's moving at the speed of the goddess that is holding her together. So when we have these moments in these epic cluster fucks up life, for another, not a better way to say it, people come at you from every angle, criticizing how you're handling your life, fucking attacking you, fucking throwing shit at you, fucking saying everything they want to say. All I'm going to say is fucking say what you want to say, fucking do what you want to do. But I fucking challenge you to still be standing if you were fucking going through what I was going through. Fuck you and fuck your opinion. Because when I get up every day with my fucking messed up hair and my fucking checking my pets to see if I got to crawl in the shower, because as I always say to Casey, got to go wash my ass because it's been 2 days. If you can look in that mirror and know you've done everything for yourself to hold you and your family together, fuck everything else. I don't care if you're in winter, summer, season, and fall. I fucking love fall. What can I say? I'm a whore for a s'more and a pumpkin pie. I don't care. That's where I live. I'm sorry. Apple everything. Fucking Hard Rock sweatshirts, warm drinks by my fire, sitting under the stars. I will sit outside and fall all day fucking long. I don't trust them motherfuckers in the Appalachia in this fucking time of the year. No, thank you, motherfucker. Too much shit is moving. And these witches are like, oh, that's on that. I'm like, you ain't in the Appalachia because you ain't outside your fucking house. I even closed my blinds this time of year. No, thank you, Satan.
Cynthia, I have to tell you something. When I put that post that says Goddess is one, it made me remember our Zoom with you and the blood that I shed that day. And my boys are at work, and I'm never alone. And I had the blood-curdling scream that came out of my gut of, this is the moment. If I want to go by myself and die, I could do it right now. And I haven't had that feeling in 20 years. And I thought back, this is it. Not one person out of 270 people, or, the people that are supposed to be friends of 30 years or whatever on my Facebook, have showed up at my door with a meal, with a help, with a car, with the truck, anything. But every person in this Zoom right now put something supportive. And I know that if one person of you lived close enough, I could say, hey, can somebody come help me? And y'all would be there. But
Absolutely.
not one person in my fucking life, in real life, here, has helped me. But I know that my goddesses of one would be there. And I didn't even know today was a moon because all of my shit's packed away. Um, but I have
All your shit's
realized
in you. You don't need your shit. All your shit's in you.
yeah, well, my Hecate candle sitting there. But I know that that all the energy and strength that you guys put up has come through for me, and that is what has gotten me through this. And then I was thinking, when I was at that moment, I was like, she was on the floor, um Sissy was on the floor with cancer. Hecate picked her up. She was on the floor with her child. The goddesses picked her up. Ashley, I went through every person, and I don't know, Jeanette's. I know there's the other Ashley. With all of her things going on, and Leah, and just Kathy, everybody going through their own things. I'm like, all of us have these things going on, and each person is there for each person, and it's beautiful that we have this connection. And then I don't know, I just felt the strength of everybody here, and I'm so thankful. um but yeah, I didn't realize that today was me, but I realized that this is the time to let go of those people that were here for a season of my life. And um maybe that's what the next season is to release some of those friendships that I thought were solid for 30 years.
I'll be honest with you, if there was one thing I could sell from the Lunar Hearth Cauldron, if I could create magical things out of nothing, it would be a vanishing cover. Because I
Yeah.
would like to be able to walk in there and walk out the other side on the sister's house that I want to be at. Because
Yeah.
believe me, it's so fucking hard. I haven't seen Holly since October. We're best friends. I mean, it's so fucking hard. Like I am so blessed. I get to talk to Vicky all the time. I get to talk to Casey all the time. I call Jeanette and she's like, "Hey bitch, what's up?" Lisa's in my inbox every once in a while. "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm not okay, but it'll be okay." And I call Ashley every day and I'm like, "You alive?" And she's like, "Yeah, are you alive?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like those are the things you check in. Jen writes me, "I'm here, I'm here." And I'm like, "Go away, Jen. I can't handle it anymore." Like, like it just gets to that point. But I think what you're touching on is super important. I think the importance of seasons is letting people behind.
Yeah.
And it's not because we don't love I fucking Daily Ohm of everything today. Their title today, I saw it this morning. I didn't read it. I probably deleted it because it was probably too close to my guts. Let me look and see if I can find it. It's not in my spam, it'd be in my trash. I get daily. You guys signed up for Daily Ohm every day? You should
It's
sign
true.
up to that to come to your inbox because it's fucking beautiful. Their post today was letting go with gratitude. Letting go with gratitude. And this says this in this book in this energy connections. And I loved how I read it. Have a soul conversation with the person. That doesn't mean you got to contact them. Because let me tell you what, their human self is not their soul self. And the person you met is not necessarily the person they are. I've had multiple people tell me in the last couple of days, "You're not the person you used to be." I can't fucking be the person I used to be. She's dead.
Mhm.
She had to die. I'm sorry. She is here. She is gone. Don't have her anymore. The need for the intense connection, deepen, pushing out every day. I don't have that anymore. And it's not because I don't want it, it's because I can't support it. I'm broken. And a lot of you are broken too. And instead of us all going, "Hey, I'm broken, but I'm here," we're all like, Nothing's wrong with me. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm going to put a fancy outfit on and put my hair up, and I'm fine." No, I'm not fine. And there's nothing going to be fine about me for a long time. When you guys read the book, you're going to find out how unfucking hinged I am. Casey's exact words were, "Bitch." When she read the whole book, she wrote back at the end of the letter, "Bitch, you okay?" Like that was her response. Because when you actually put on paper what you're feeling spiritually, it is like you're signing to the cookie hut. Like you're ready for the cookie hut when people read this. Like if my husband wanted to go into court and be like, my wife wrote this book. I want full custody of our daughter and to put her in a mental institution. Probably would happen. But you have to look at it like, are you willing to stand on your spirituality? Are you willing to go all the way back to the beginning when it lit you on fire? They tell you to do it in every relationship. Maybe that's our spring. Maybe we need to find where we fell in love with our craft and go back and breathe air into it. Go breathe life into it. Where did we feel? I mean, I don't know about you guys. When I first came out, talking of the witchcraft closet, don't want to get all the rumors started. When I first came, because
Really,
everybody already
Holly?
listen, if I would say it's anybody else, y'all would die.
Listen, Linda.
Sis, my wife, she'll tell you. So when you're sitting in these situations, figure out what made you fall in love with the craft. What did you love about it? My first love with the craft was journaling. That's what I loved. My first group was called Sisters on a Journey. It's still on Facebook. It's still there. It's like 200, it's like archived, but there's like 250 women in it. At one point, I had like 800 women in. My first trip to Salem was with those women.
Hmm.
I was with a really big shithead who I was partners with, but it was with those women. But, you know, you learn and you experience it and you move forward. And journaling is what I fell in love with. Learning is what I fell in love with. Experiencing the magic of the craft and how it resonated in each season. I've journeyed back to that. This wheel embrace of my craft, these boxes you saw come out are totally the energy of what I want to live in. And anybody who got a box can tell you it's a different feeling in this fucking box. It's a different sissy you're getting. It's different because you're seeing that my goal is to have community. It is not to be just me. I don't want to make it all. I don't want, contrary to what everybody thinks, I don't want to be the LHC. I've always wanted to sit at a table with my sisters. This spring, I want to see more of that. I have to take a break. You're going to have things to do, but you still have your communities to be you. Have the fucking Zoom meets. We have a Zoom. Ashley has control of a Zoom. So if you guys want to go on and do Zooms, we use it for the Feral Fae. Get in touch with Ashley. She'll hook you up, start a Zoom. You guys can all do a Zoom together. That's the point of this. I pay for 3 different Zooms. Start fucking using them. There are a lot of assets in our community that could be feeding this book. Like the seasonal soul could have be so much more, but I can't give it to you. So sisters are going to have to step up and give it. And right now, everybody's afraid because the book was delayed and Sissy's not teaching as much, and too much emphasis on one witch will lose a community. I hate to say that, it's true. And there's thousands of groups out on the internet and they're sharing stuff every day and they're trying to grow every day. The true growth comes when you're of service. Hecate demands service. The fucking Morrigan demands service. You're not fucking enjoying this, let me tell you that much. None of this. I am here for none of this. But I am learning that you shouldn't, like, put your scalias on your fucking arm and think you're gonna walk about life not having your ass kicked. Some of you need to understand this Easter holiday that's coming up. You were once pretty entrenched in Christianity. This season does have meaning for you, whether you like it or not. It is your internal programming for rebirth. And a lot of you are not feeling like spring because it ain't Easter. I hate to say it. I know you don't want to fucking hear that, but it's true. My mom said to me, "What are you making for Easter?" I said, "You mean Jesus Mary Day?" And she goes, "Did you just call it Jesus Mary Day?" I said, "Yeah, because Mary like anointed him and put him in. And adorned him with all the things to let him slumber for 3 days, and then he rose and went out. She goes, are you telling me that Jesus was just asleep? I said, that's what I'm telling you. Look in it. It makes sense. And there was no fucking bunny when they rolled away the stone. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
It is what it is. There was no fucking bunny when they rolled away the stone. The bunny
No
took the
eggs.
egg to Astora as his only gift he had to give. It's a fairy tale, and so is the fucking Easter bunny.
Yep.
Okay? Okay? Let's go watch Here Comes Peter Cottontail with Iron Tail. I bet there's no fucking black rabbit with an iron tail either. Just saying. Every aspect of our calendar has something to do with who we are. Easter may not be reminiscent to not every person in this community, but it is an indicator of spring for many of us. I don't skip it anymore. I used to be the fuck Sky Daddy crew. Nah, I'm not there anymore. I'm just like, isn't Mary amazing? Look what that whore did. I'm so impressed with her. My mother is not taking this. Nevertheless, even the Christian faith embraces the red tent. Why? I think they were called the priestesses of Isis. Just saying. I'm not here to ruffle any feathers, but I'm just saying. When you look into these magical aspects, like spring is coming. I mean, fuck, even Jesus got thrown into the winter tomb. Come on. Yeah, it's for 3 days. And once again, it's that fucking number 3. I ain't saying it do with anything, but it was a fucking 3. When you look at these things, and she has this beautiful shift section, and it's like the winter to spring, anger, tears, fears, longings, and mistake. That sounds like a country song. Anger, tears, fears, longings, and mistakes. And that makes me think of my favorite thing in the whole world, tequila. So listen, that's exactly how you pronounce it too. If you ever go to girls trip with me, that's how we pronounce that word, tequila, because we don't drink it. That's the sound it makes me make. So when you're looking at this and you're moving into these springs, like, I don't even think we need to push for the next meeting. I think like page 108 is fine. We should be at 98. That's 10 pages of content, right? That's nothing.
Not much.
It's not much. Vicky's probably going to lead that with you guys with Jen. What I'll do is hook them up with the Zoom link to do that. Jen will handle all the prompts and the stuff, and her and Vicky will work together on that. I was going to have Jen lead today, but it just happened that we skipped the St. Patrick's Day thing. I was actually going to do a star with my grandkids, and it didn't work out, so it's not a big deal. But when we move into this, you guys need to step up when you're ready. Hey, I'll lead a week. Hey, I'll lead a week. Because these don't have to be in-depth sermons on the mound. That's another Jesus reference.
You're just on fire, aren't you?
Oh, I'm really thinking about going to church next Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a long time. A long time. I'm going to have questions. I'm going to have questions.
You
Excuse
need to
me.
rehearse how to say his
Body
name.
cam.
You gotta Jesus.
I need
Three
to
syllables.
sit though peacefully. And that's going to be my hard thing because it really
That-
gives discernment in my spirit.
No, you're gonna
But I'll
start speaking in tongues.
No, I did those churches. No thanks.
That was mine.
I think that where we're sitting in our community is people are feeling pressured to complete things and do these. These courses that are now in the LHC are really nice. Because if you're not on par with everybody, you can go back when you're on par. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We're going to put them in the branches of the LHC. They don't take a whole bunch of space on the drive. So I can put the PDFs in there. I can put the course in there. The videos comes off YouTube, which is like the big holder on the website. But I think you guys need to start giving yourself grace in this winter context. And when a workshop is not speaking to you, speak for yourself. Write me and say, hey, sissy, This one's not really jiving for me right now. Will it be available in a little bit? Do I need to download things? Because you can. You can put that link in your email. You can email yourself that link and it'll always be on YouTube. You can go back and watch the video when you want to. Not everything's going to speak to you. I just put a chaos magic for the eclipse in April. It is the last live workshop I'm going to teach before I'm off with C. The reason is, if you have been close to me in person, you know I have chaos energy. And it's really intense. And it's even more so, like today, it's nuts. Like I can hardly sit in my seat. Like today would be a terrible day for me to teach a big class. But when you sit in this energy, there is big power in this energy. You just have to learn how to not shake the container and, mix the Alka-Seltzer with the vinegar. You just gotta stay still, But I think there's a lot missing in magic because people are afraid of chaos magic. And it is very valuable and usable. So I'm going to answer your questions for tonight's moon right here, right now. Yes, make water. Yes, charge a few crystals. Yes, charge some salt. Yes, put this stuff in a fire safe box. Fire safe being people aren't going to touch it and use it. But make yourself a little arsenal of chaos supplies tonight and label them dark moon chaos because that's what they are. So when you're doing magical work where you want to banish or bind somebody's ass, you have the water and you have the salt and you have all the supplies right there. I don't use jars anymore, and I'm not binding and banishing people anymore. It's not who I am. It's not what I'm going to do. So if you're hexing me, best of luck to you. Good luck with that. I don't have time for it. I only have time to focus on my little village right now, and that's the LHC and my home.
And your chicks.
And our new chicks, evidently, yes, our new chick family. But I want you guys to read ahead into this spring. I'll go and look at when the next one's set up. Like I said, it will probably be Vicky leading. T will be home, but I'm not going to be interacting. I might come in on the Zoom and like, hey guys, what's up? But I won't be leading. I have to really focus in. We're going to have some serious recovery. So I want you guys to really move into this. So summer, there's going to be a small group fucking feral women starting. This book's going to be part of the fucking feral class. So if you've ever read this book, this was recommended by my therapist. I have not read this book yet. And she told me it's a really great book to learn to deal with shit happening to you personally. And it's about taking things personally. And it's called Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth, Awakening to Life's Purpose. Because I made the mistake of telling her the other day, I feel like I have no purpose anymore. Don't ever fucking tell your therapist that. So that will be part of the fucking feral course, just like a sounder and an offset of it. I did get one of the witches that'll work on that, but we're still looking for another witch for that. Fucking Garrity will be in there. She's close to home, so she will be in there. But we're going to be moving forward and doing a lot of stuff to support this book in spring and summer. Because I think, this might be a really good time to start gathering your supplies for the new moon for a vision board for your spring. I know we usually don't do these biblical things. That's like women's Bible study stuff. But I kind of feel like some of us need a visual to know where we're going. So save the clippings, save the things. I'm going to tell you on your vision boards, I'm going to ask you to write no possessions. These are all about growth of your spirit and soul. You all have a soul contract. Reflect into your soul contract and see what it looks like. I found a really cool program that writes soul contracts, like Ursula. So I will give you the link to use that here in the next couple of weeks.
Does she take your voice?
No, no, but it's different. It's a different way. I associate it like that, but it's an actual program that gives you tools to write your contract accordingly. Because there's a lot of books that support soul contracts out there.
Mhm.
I've been looking a little more into these. Fucking Vicky. It's all Vicky's fault.
It might
Okay.
be.
Here it is. This is the one. This is your soul contract decoded. And I found this one really insightful. It's by Nicholas David Nigan. I'll put the pictures up and there's like all these really cool drawings in it. And figuring out your soul alchemy. It's a really in-depth book on the concept, but nevertheless, it's a book. So you can probably get it on Kindle Unlimited for free to look at. You probably wouldn't even have to buy it. So, knowing your soul contract and knowing your purpose in each season, your seasonal purposes change.
Mhm.
That's the thing. Like everybody associates your soul contract with being eternal, but it's not. It moves and it's alive like you are. So, might be something to look into and focus on. If you guys have any questions, send me an email. I will be around. I'll get the replay up here in a little bit, and then Jen will get the write up probably tomorrow or Tuesday. She usually gets it up 2 days after we're done. But thank you for taking time out of your busy days. Shannon, thanks for being here. Ashley,
Thank you
thanks for
all for
being
your
here.
support. I appreciate
You're
it.
Alicia's over there doing the good work. She's working today, listening to us on her phone. She wrote me and she says, I will be listening. I just can't be on. So we had a girl here nobody saw, but she was here. So you guys have a great day. Take care of yourself. Remember, you're magic as you fucking say you are. And go make your fucking chaos tools. Bye.
Bye.